This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Bells with Books. So this is, of course, the podcast where we sip, spill, and sometimes even spiral the stories we're reading. But that changes every single month. And, of course, I am your host, Miranda, and my co-host and I are going to be discussing books this month that have the theme of being orange. Not the fruit. That'd be a different kind of book club. She probably thinks I'm fruity sometimes, but she loves me anyway. And that's my co-host, Bianca.
Hello. Not the fruity comment. Y'all, we had a giggling fit before we started recording.
We did.
It's still going.
Full transparency, Bianca has a sore throat. She's catching, we hope she's, actually, no, we're not going to put that into the universe. She's not catching anything.
No, I'm blaming stupid Florida weather for not wanting to make up its mind.
Her vitamins are going to make her better. And I am battling what I thought was food poisoning, pretty sure is a virus. Yay.
We're surviving over here, folks.
We are surviving. And on orange juice, too, because both of us needed sustenance. So, yes, this month we're going to discuss books that are orange. One of us picked a book that is absolutely orange. One of us picked two books because we couldn't make up our mind, and a lot of people told us one of them was not orange.
But it is orange. I will let the audience decide.
Yeah, and they're gonna be on my side. But as you know, we don't jump right into our books here. It's time for what Bianca has relabeled in our notes. Normally, we do news. I know we do news, but I'm just going to prepare the people and let them know that today you're not going to get news and adaptation minute. You're getting news. And according to Bianca, adaptation hour.
Because there's so much to talk about.
So much like Masterpiece Theaters. We are Masterpiece Theater.
I had added like 3 things in there one day, and then
I know.
You logged in one day and typed in a couple of things, and then I logged in and added more things, and I was just like, this is a whole paragraph now.
I told you this already, but I'll tell the audience. I genuinely was like, but do I add this? We have a lot already going on. And I was like, we have to, because if we don't talk about it until later, then it's like irrelevant. It's irrelevant news. We don't have a whole lot of actual news and social media updates. I'll let you cover it, because they're actually both your like fun facts to bring to the table.
Yeah. So first in book news, we have a book coming out in September. So it was originally published last September, and it's coming out this September with a new and updated cover.
What is the reasoning for the pushback on this book? Because I'm unfamiliar.
I didn't know there was pushback.
Well, no, like it was pushed back. You said it was supposed to have come out that's a whole year.
It came out last year with its like first cover. And it's coming out this September with a new cover.
Misunderstood. I was like, wait, what? Okay.
It's called If It Makes You Happy by Julia Olivia.
It looks like it has recipes in it.
Yes. It is. I've started following this author on TikTok because she just kept popping up. And I was like, fine, I'll follow you. Gosh. And it is heavily inspired by Luke and Lorelai from Gilmore Girls. And even just like the new cover is very Luke and Lorelai coded.
Absolutely.
Over in not Mystic Falls.
I mean, maybe Luke and Lorelai went on a visit to Mystic Falls, but
Stars Hollow, my God.
Maybe Stars Hollow is next to Mystic Falls, and just Stars Hollow is completely oblivious to what goes on in the town next door.
I haven't even watched Vampire Diaries. I don't know where that came from.
Hey, listen, you've not got an idea in my head. Stars Hollow is next to Mystic Falls. No, it's done. You done look who you're talking to. What have you done?
But anyway, so it's coming out with a new cover in basically a month.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just go straight to her website and read the little synopsis straight from Julie. Single dad, friends to lovers, small town autumn, 1997. My new next door neighbor seems to have everything figured out. Small town golden boy? Check. Single dad extraordinaire? Check. Hot baker forearms? I didn't notice them, I swear.
Yeah, you did.
But it just sounds real. It sounds real cute and nice and cozy for the upcoming Burr months for all you fall girls. So I just wanted to make mention of that. And
it's orange.
And there is an accompanying. Ooh, there is orange. You are correct. If you go to her website, there is an accompanying playlist called the "If It Makes You Happy" playlist. It's got Sixpence None the Richer, the Cranberries.
Does it have "If It Makes You Happy" though?
I'm still scrolling. Spice Girl, Savage Garden.
The vibe of the song, "If It Makes You Happy," probably wouldn't be, but
yes, it is the last song on there.
I was gonna say, how do you write a book if it makes you happy and then have a playlist and it doesn't have it? Currently, there is a giveaway for the U.S. only on Goodreads for 25 copies. Ends in 5 days, so it should still be going when this airs. So just check it.
Yeah. And then finally, the Tome app is now available for us Android users.
Yep.
I got the notification sometime this past week, and I have not downloaded it yet because I got it while I was at work, and I just remembered when I was typing up my notes today. So,
and I'm horrible because I got the beta of it before it actually went fully live for everybody on iPhone, and I've barely touched it. I feel really bad about that because you and I were very hype about this.
Well, because it's supposed to be kind of an alternative to Book Talk.
But it's supposed to be heavy fantasy.
Yes. Well, and from because I joined their little Discord chat, what I've seen, a lot of the critique has been it needs to be expanded beyond fantasy. So I'm wondering if they're going to.
Originally they had said, when I got the beta invite, that was the intention, that they understood, because at first they were like, we should create a world for fantasy people, but then if you pigeonhole yourself, people are just going to go back to, which I love, Fable. They're going to go back to Fable or you use Storygraph or Goodreads or something like that. But it's essentially supposed to be a mix where it's social media meets a book app, right? But people are just going to go back to the others if it's everybody's only talking about fantasy books here. So I hope they do well, because anytime there's a new thing like that out for the book community, I think it's fantastic. So,
but I will hopefully remember to download it after we get done talking here, and then maybe next month I can report back.
Yeah. I'll try to get better with it, but I make no promises.
And now we're going to move on to our adaptation hour, because there are whoa, Brad's screen just did something weird. Oh, it's an ad. Okay.
I was highlighting stuff in our document, so I was like, was it me?
No, the entire screen went black and then an ad popped up. I was like, what in the world? And it wasn't a bad ad. It was for dog food or something.
Oh, that's great. We are
scared the crap out of me
today. I love it.
I actually, before we started, I probably should have talked a little bit. Brad and I have just had a very super lazy day. And like I said, my throat was hurting. So I've said maybe 50 words before starting to podcast. And now I'm realizing maybe I should have gotten some of this out.
It's okay. I slept most of the day. So I feel you. I've said very little.
So, The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros has been optioned with Lionsgate for an adaptation. It's going to be a movie. Mm-hmm. They have Arash Amel penning the script, and Todd Lieberman is going to produce with his production company, Hidden Pictures.
Which, I think if you think about, to me, in my mind, and I know we've talked about how I don't really like him anymore, but how Nicholas Sparks used to do all of his books into movies, basically, I think you're kind of there. It'll work. It'll work really well. Yeah.
Have you read The Things We Leave Unfinished?
I have not. I've actually read nothing of Rebecca's except for Fourth Wing stuff.
Oh, okay. I thoroughly enjoyed The Things We Leave Unfinished. It will make you cry. It is a happy, sad book.
Is it one of her military ones? Because honestly,
No.
that's why I have put them all off, is because, I think that'd be a little too much for me.
Yeah. I don't do the military stuff either. This one is not. This
I
one
used
is
to, and it
actually
just being too much of a blubber.
understandable. This one is told in two timelines. One is from the World War II, and then one is present day.
Gotcha.
And it's done very well. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I believe I gave it 5 stars.
Do that, where you have 1, 2, sometimes even 3 different timelines going on. They go together and somehow.
Yeah, and in true Rebecca fashion, there is a twist that you do not see coming. So, I'll just put that out there for you. And Rebecca is also going to serve as executive producer.
Nice.
For it. So I'm very excited about that because I thoroughly enjoyed that one. And I was like, yay, which we're probably going to get that before we get Fourth Wing, sadly.
I feel like you're correct.
I'm just like, because we still haven't gotten any updates on Fourth Wing adaptation.
I don't think she's even started writing, is my understanding.
Writing, you mean the next book or the TV show?
The next book.
Oh, no. She actually just posted on Instagram a few minutes ago that she is putting it officially on the plot board to start plotting.
Exactly. So you guys better just calm down. Because we're going to be here a minute.
Next, we have The Love Hypothesis by Allie Hazelwood is going to be adapted into a movie. And it's going to be starring your girl, Lily Reinhart.
I like her. We had some friends that did not like this.
I'm okay with it.
I am too.
I'm fine with it.
I like her.
So for those who don't know, The Love Hypothesis is basically a fanfic of
it's a Raylo.
Yeah, basically. And so the main character is based on Adam Driver, physically described perfectly as Adam Driver. And the dude they cast to play this guy in the movie is Daisy Ridley's husband. That made me laugh so hard.
That is pretty funny.
I was like, they knew what they were doing there.
What are the chances? I mean, you can't hire... Adam Driver's too old. No offense. But he is.
I think he could have done it because he's supposed to play a professor.
Well, yeah. But how old is Adam Driver now?
That I don't know. That's a good point.
He's older than me. He's by a year. But still, whatever. He'll be 40. He'll be 42 in a few months.
Because the Lily's character is supposed to be like a PhD student, basically.
Yeah. Tom.
So she's also supposed to be older. This is not a little YA rom-com.
He's 36.
Okay.
So the guy playing it is 36. I guess I thought they were a little younger when I read it. I don't know why. In my head, I thought they were younger.
Well, I think it throws people off because it is set in like a college university setting, but he's a professor and she's a PhD student. So they're going to be older no matter what.
Okay, so a PhD student usually is between the ages of 25 and 35. So, yeah. Okay.
But that's going to be coming to, I believe, Amazon. I think Amazon Amazon MGM Studios.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be, that's not right. I forget when they said it's supposed to be released. I think it's early 2026. Let's see. And we have an update for Kristin Hannah fans. The Nightingale movie is officially back on track. They had basically started writing the script and everything right before COVID took over the world, and they indefinitely put a pause on it. But now we have the sisters. What are they called? What are their names? This is a great podcast, y'all. She's from Twilight. Dakota and Elle.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
Dakota and Elle Fanning.
Gotcha. I'm tracking now. not tracking.
Which they were attached to the project from the very beginning. And
yes.
basically everyone was like, please come back, and they have come back to it.
Yes.
It is going to be released February 12th, 2027. So we still have a ways to go.
Yeah, which means they haven't even started shooting, basically.
Yeah, no. Let's see. They're going to star and produce, and Dana Stevens from The Woman King is writing the script, and Elizabeth Cantillon is going to produce. Oh, and Reese Witherspoon. So
I'm not surprised by that.
I guess Hello Sunshine's going to be involved in it.
That would be my assumption too.
Okay. I'll let you do the next couple. I've been talking a lot.
Okay. So our next one is that if you are a fan of Raven Kennedy's The Plated Prisoner series, it is being adapted into a television series, which please remember, if we tell you something is being adapted, that doesn't mean it's fully coming to fruition, because we have seen things been optioned and adapted before and then never happened. So far it is being reported that Kate Rorick will serve as our showrunner for the project through Mandalay Television. And they have optioned the rights to the series, which does include all books. So Guild Gleam, Glow, Gold, and Goldfinch. There is no current set date of when this is projected to come out or anything, because as of right now they've picked a showrunner, they've gotten all the rights, and they're moving forward. So
does it say is it going to be a movie series or TV series?
They also haven't. They've just said it's the project. They're not. Okay. Yeah. So I guess they're probably trying to decide if they would turn this into multiple movies, or because it's multiple books. So I don't know if they would do this as multiple movies or as a TV series. Which, in my opinion, I think sometimes you're better when you have this many books just going straight into a television series.
Yeah, because you're guaranteed a long run if you do it right.
Yeah. If you're unfamiliar with who our showrunner is, she's actually also been showrunner of Leverage, Redemption, then also written on TNT's The Librarians, which I love that show so much, and was also a writer on Freeform's Marvel series Cloak and Dagger. So high hopes for that content.
Have you read that series?
I read the first book, and I didn't drop it because I didn't like it. I think it was one of those times where I was like, I have too much going on, and I just got sucked in by other things. So I do have plans to go back and read it again.
Cool. I have not read it.
Well, completely, I think I should say. Completely.
Is it Bianca friendly?
You know what? I would have to check for you because it's been such a long time. I don't remember if it's Bianca friendly or... Okay, let me put it this way. If I remember correctly, it might not be friendly, but not because it has no-nos. Let's just look it up really quick. No, I don't think it's that it's a no-nos thing. I think it's a Fae no-no thing.
Oh, okay. I thought it had to do with King Midas.
Yeah, but I want to say there's a touch of Fae stuff going. The Fae abandoned the world to us and the ones that ruled power. Gold floors, gold walls, gold furniture, gold clothes, and high belt in the castle built in the frozen mountains. Everything is made of gold, even me. King Midas rescued me. So yes, it is a myth reimagined of King Midas. It is an adult fantasy series that is, quoting to this quote here, addictive as it is inspected. It does have romance, intrigue, danger, but they do talk about the Fae. This book does contain explicit content and dark elements that may be triggering to some. It includes mature language, violence, death, and non-consensual times. There are also elements of emotional abuse and manipulation and Stockholm Syndrome.
I was like, because I know I haven't read Raven Kennedy, but I know the name, and I know most of the time she writes Bianca No-Nos, so.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't remember, to be honest with you, and I don't know what that says about the book. I remember I liked it, but...
Yeah.
It says if you're under 18 years of age, they don't recommend this book.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's Bianca No for two reasons, because the Fae are mentioned several times, and Bianca hate the Fae.
They're not for me, sorry.
Which, you know what? That means you're never going to get abducted by the Fae. So I guess there's kind of a, unless, depending on how you feel, there's a win-win. But also a book that I really, really loved called Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. I think I actually talked about it on the podcast. I don't remember if I talked about it in detail or not. I should probably keep an accurate list of the books that we've fully talked about, not the ones we just mentioned. So if you are into true crime podcasts, you'll love this book. And this is one that I would push people to be like, do the audio, because it kind of sets it up like you're reading a book, but you're also like listening to this podcast that's taking place inside this book. And so I think it's actually going to be a fantastic show. It is being turned into a television series, and I think that is perfect because, like we were talking about earlier, you kind of want these things broken down into like perfect little episodes. I think a movie would rush this along too much. It basically follows Lucy on a quest to solve her best friend Savvy's murder, where she's actually been the prime suspect. The TV series is being written by Rachel Schuchert. I think that's how you say her last name. She's from 9 Perfect Strangers and the Babysitters Club. The executive produced by our author, as well as Schuchert, and Dinner Party Productions. So I'm looking forward to seeing where this will appear, like who's going to get it. Because I don't see what outlet it will be aired on. But I'm very excited for this one.
That book has been on my TBR for a hot minute. So
I do think you would really enjoy it.
I need to move it on up, I guess.
Yes.
A couple of things here. I have discovered, well, I'll say rediscovered, Sweet Magnolias on Netflix. This is an adaptation of, I forget her name. I should have looked this up before I started. Sweet Magnolia Books. Cheryl Woods.
Mm-hmm.
I had watched season 1 a couple years ago.
Is that the one with Joanna Garcia Swisher,
yes,
and then the lady that used to be on Drop Dead Diva?
Yes.
Okay.
I had watched season 1 a few years ago, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I forget why I didn't continue. But I'm continuing now. I'm on season 2. It's a nice, mostly wholesome show.
Mm-hmm.
I would equate it to kind of a Gilmore Girls vibe where like stuff happens, but you have the thing of we're always going to come together and be together and love each other and all that kind of stuff. And most of the time I would say it's child friendly. There's only been one scene and it was alluding to, they didn't show anything. So,
but keep your children out of your room and out of the room and have time to yourself. As a mother, I can say that.
But it does make me want to read the books just because the show is so good. So I just want to put that out there. It's on Netflix if anyone else wants to join me in watching that. And then the summer I turned Pretty season 3.
I keep seeing it everywhere. Everybody's like, you gonna watch this? You gonna watch? Like, oh my God. No, I never watched season 1. Am I gonna watch season 3? No. I mean, maybe one day, but if I've never watched 1, I'm not watching 3.
Yeah, no, you need to watch them in order.
Exactly.
I read the books probably a good 10 years ago, and I loved the books. I love anything Jenny Han writes.
See, I'm pretty sure these are the ones I read, and I talked to you about them like so long ago. But I
Probably.
I'm struggling to remember now.
But you can definitely tell it has taken over TikTok, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And you can tell the people who have not read the books versus those who've had, because the whole time all of us book readers have been like, we know how this ends. Like, we know what's coming. But then we enjoy seeing everyone's reaction of who hasn't read the books. And they're like, what? What is happening? And
I love when that happens.
The last 10 years of my life.
When, like, something gets adapted and, like, people go into it, like, just from, like, a movie or a TV standpoint, like, not a, like, I read this standpoint. I love when they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah.
But it also shows how good of an adaptation that it is, that something that is 10 plus years old can still hold up today, even with a few changes.
Has Jenny Han? Oh, okay. I have read Jenny Han. They have turned something of hers into an adaptation.
To All the Boys.
Yes, that's the one that I have read and you and I have talked about.
Yeah, I like that series too.
That's why I was like, have I read this or not? No, I have not read this one because I read the other one. That one was cute.
Yes, To All the Boys of, what's it called?
To All the Boys I've Loved Before is book one.
That series is definitely more cutesy. Mm-hmm. It is very YA.
Yes.
The Summer I Turned Pretty is also YA, but it is not as cutesy, and at times it is heart-wrenching. This is not a spoiler at this point, because if you haven't seen this on TikTok, I don't know what to tell you, or any other social media thing. In the first season, one of the mothers is diagnosed with cancer, and she dies. And there's like a whole thing around that, and you want to pull everyone into a group hug and just tell them it'll be okay. Just go to therapy. It'll be okay.
Right.
Because they don't deal with it well. Some characters don't. And some characters do other things that they shouldn't be doing. And it's a good teen drama. I'll put it that way. But they are releasing one episode a week for season 3. They just aired episode 5, which is the one that Jenny Han herself directed. And she did such a good job. It was probably my favorite episode this season so far. So go watch it on Amazon. You can binge it and catch up to now and join in the discourse. And then finally, we got the Regretting You trailer, the adaptation of Colleen Hoover's book. It is starring McKenna Grace and the dude from How to Train Your Dragon, Mason Thames, I think is his name.
Something like that. Thames, something.
Regretting You adaptation.
My brain is not braining.
It comes out in October. And I don't like... Go ahead.
Can I be honest?
Sure.
I'm not interested in seeing it.
Why?
I don't know. I watched the trailer and I was like, eh. I'm not being cynical. I mean, if I were a cynical person, I wouldn't be married for almost 20 years. But I was just like, eh. And I'm sorry.
That hurts.
Maybe it's just not my era for that. And that's okay. That's okay.
I will say they showed a lot in the trailer, and I'm like, you basically just showed the whole movie, and that kind of made me mad.
And I wonder if that's why I was like, because I was like, I think you just showed me everything.
That irritated me. I was like, leave some to the audience to figure out.
I hate when trailers do that. It also seemed like a long trailer. The one I watched, at least. I was like, okay.
Well, I will be in theaters to see it because I believe it comes out on mine and Brad's anniversary. So I already told them that we're going to see it.
Close to mine.
When does it come out? When do you come out? Yeah, October 24th. I was right.
Yeah. You guys are super close to mine. I don't know if you've ever realized that. We're the 27th.
Oh, okay. And so we have another friend who they got married after us, but they got married the 23rd. And this like Brad's best friend. And he looked at me. He was like, "Are you trying to copy me?"
Yeah. No, I mean, technically, I guess you guys kind of tried to copy us. I'm just kidding. We didn't even know each other yet. Next time Brad says that, you should be like, "No, we accidentally almost copied Miranda." What year is this for you guys?
10.
It's a big one for you guys too.
Yeah. Is this 20 for you?
It's 20. Yeah.
Ooh.
I know.
And you're coming back to America.
Oh, I know we'll be apart for our anniversary.
Aw.
Yeah. Stupid bureaucracy. Maybe that's why I'm like regretting you. Whatever.
Making me cough over here.
Don't cough. I'm sweating. It's okay.
But the trailer is up. If you're a Colleen Hoover fan, go watch it. And come join me in the theater. I will take any and all guests with me.
Well, on the topic of regretting you, we chose, as I said, covers with orange. Literally, we said this book is orange. That's what we said. But no other. This was not a Miranda wanted to go fall. which I do love my fall. I'm a fall girl. But it has nothing to do with that. It actually has everything to do with we were making a decision and we're like, hey, let's just 1 month pick a book color. So probably going to do more of these later, not back to back. It's something that we'll like throw in here and there. So we're going to start with orange. And so we'll announce to everyone the books that we chose. I'll go first because I know you've been talking a lot and your throat is itching. So first, tell the people the books that you chose, and let's have a small moment for them.
So I couldn't choose between two books because I liked them both. Mm-hmm. The first book is Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. Mm-hmm. The second book is The Humans by Matt Haig.
Yeah. The Humans by Matt Haig. It has a fantastic cover, right? I think it's very catchy. Which isn't this going to be a movie as well? Or is a movie?
That I'm not sure.
I think it's supposed to be.
Let me look it up.
It's very pretty. It's like orange and pink. Which there's a lot of different covers to this, by the way. When I was like pulling...
It has been optioned.
Yeah, okay. So when I was making our like graphics to show what we read and posting it, I found like 3 different covers for this book.
I read the orange and pink cover.
Yes, which would make sense because of, us going for the orange. But I was like, dang, this book got a lot of different covers. It's very pretty. I like the orange and pink together, which has no correlation to anything today other than I just really had to say that. I just thought it was pretty. It was very eye-pleasing. Like when I was creating our graphics for like social media, I was like, oh, that's really pretty. However, Bianca picked 2, which, you know what? There's no rules to that. And you absolutely can do that. But the theme was orange.
And they're both orange.
This is not orange. This girl, guys, we need you to weigh in. Weigh in. It is your turn. Is Regretting You orange? Because if I remember correctly, what did Brad say? You asked Brad, and Brad said...
He was like, it's orange-red.
Exactly. It's not orange.
To me, it's orange.
It's reddish orange. It's like more red.
It's orange.
I remember you asked our friends in our group. I don't remember how long ago that was because sometimes we talk a lot in there.
It was probably over a month now.
It probably was. But I want everybody to weigh in because boys and girls, Miranda sees red. I would house this in the red family.
Like, I can see how, like, if it's by itself, I can see how it would be perceived as red. But if you put it next to something that is red, it is orange. Because I did the comparison. I put it next to several things that were red, and it looked orange. So I'm sticking by my answer. It is orange.
People do see colors differently. They do.
Yeah, Rhett and Link wrote a whole song about it.
They did. That is accurate.
Anyways, what did you choose, Miranda?
I went way too far. My cover is orange. No discussion.
What is the title of your book?
It is book 2 in the Pretty Little Liars series by Sara Shepard. It is called Flawless. It be orange.
I'm looking it up now, mainly because I need to know how to spell Sara Shepard's name.
Or she does Sara.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that is bright orange.
Mm-hmm. Like orange be the orange.
Well, tell us about it. What's up with it?
I will tell you about it. So I'm going to try to do my best here to not spoil book 1 in case you have never read them, which, to be honest, this book 2 came out in 2007. So, like...
You've had almost 20 years to read it. Right.
Like, you've had a hot minute, and the TV show's been out. Like, book 1 was published in 2006. God, I'm old. It's okay. So I'm going to try to do this where I don't really spoil book 1 too much, because you literally, with Sara Shepard's series, you literally pick up where the last one left off. Like, you do close out one thing, but then the story continues. If you watch Pretty Little Liars, and you know, like, at the end of each season, which, by the way, book Pretty Little Liars and TV Pretty Little Liars. If you are only a TV Pretty Little Liars person, you have not experienced the same thing. Completely different. There are a lot of things that are very similar, but there are a lot of things that never happen or totally change altogether. So overall, it's basically small town, big secret. It's basically text messages that would make you throw your phone against the wall or in a lake. You don't want these. But this one today, I'm going to tell you about Flawless, which, like I said, is book 2 in Sarah Shepard's Pretty Little Liars series. And even if you have read the first one, it's okay. I'm going to try to catch you up so that but also not confuse you if you've never read it. Okay, so Pretty Little Liars in general is about 4 teenage girls in upscale town of Rosewood, Pennsylvania. You've got Spencer, Aria, Hannah, and Emily, just like in the show. They were basically once inseparable, but their queen bee, their friend, their person that glued them together was Allison, and she vanished. And so the group kind of fell apart, which also it's their ages. I think when the book series first starts, they're at the end of middle school or something like that. So there's a lot that kind of tears them apart, actually. But now they're getting these really mysterious text messages, same as in the show, and they're all from A. And A is sending them messages with details about their very, very private, things that the only person that did actually know them were Allison. And this is where the tension really comes in. It is very much like teen drama. Yes, young teen drama, mystery, but it's also very much a psychological thriller. So we're getting into book 2, and the girls are basically still being targeted by A. But now it's getting more dangerous and more personal. You've got Hannah, who has been struggling with her body issues and a breakup. And A keeps kind of poking at that. Emily is wrestling with feelings for Maya, who is a new friend, and kind of what this means for her identity, because nobody really knows that Emily is interested in women. Aria is basically hiding that her dad is having an affair. A is pressuring her to spill it. And you've got Spencer is under massive, massive pressure to succeed. Think I am on Harvard track. Nothing will stand in my way because that's what is expected of me. And she starts making some very kind of ethical, questionable choices. And they all think they have figured out who A might be. They've determined, we know who it is. And it's tied to this really disturbing incident in this past year. But they're not right. And our story kind of starts building towards this big charity event it's the Foxy. So it's Rosewood's answer to this big black tie gala. Because mind you, most of the girls in this series come from financially well-off families. Not all of them, but most of them, or they have ties to financially well-off. So there's a lot of things they talk about. All these girls have a car and cell phones, and they talk about going to black tie events, and again, much like that part is much like the show. So the girls decide to confront the person that they think is A there. But in this classic thriller fashion, things don't go the way they planned. And the confrontation basically raises more questions than it does answer anything. And so by the end, you're not even sure if they've been chasing the wrong suspect entirely. You're kind of wait, what? What I do like about this book, and I know that it is young adult, I get that. And so that turns some people off. But I think sometimes if you just gave young adult or middle grade a chance, number one, it's it's not to me, not as much pressure. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
But yes, the stakes are high. I mean, clearly the stakes are high. I had a lot of questions when I was reading these books as an adult and then watching Pretty Little Liars as an adult. And I was yeah, no one got an adult. But they're dealing with super high stakes things. This is not just they're this is blackmail. This is murder. This is
this isn't a typical little teen summer drama thing.
No, people are missing, people are murdered, people are attacked. It is not.
Which I never got into Pretty Little Liars, the books or the show. That was just never my thing. So maybe I should give it a chance. The book covers turned me off.
The original book covers?
They have with the doll looking things on there. And I'm just
well, there's a reason.
I mean, I figured, but.
Yeah, there is a reason that comes in several books in. But It is a choice. I'll say that. But remind you, like I was saying at the beginning of this, the first book came out in 2006.
Yeah.
So as you know, from working in the book field for, off and on in different aspects, you know that like what sells cover wise at that time then versus now are very different. All of her covers were very bright or very eye-catching because
didn't they all have like really bright colors on them?
Most all of them, yes. Her other series, The Lying Game, it wasn't necessarily that it was bright colors, but it was like very eye-catching. I really loved that one as well. It's also a YA. And they also came out, which is funny, is Lying Game Book 1 came out in 2006. So did Pretty Little Liars Book 1 came out in 2006. So I'm like, what were you doing, girl? Sarah Shepard was like, oh, crack my knuckles, I got this.
She was just writing.
She was like, I'm just writing. Yeah, and both of them actually became a television series where Pretty Little Liars kept going and actually still kind of has a show going. It's like a spinoff. The Lying Game didn't last very long, and it had huge potential. So I was very mad that it didn't go as long. I think it went 2 seasons. It was also on,
was it also on Freeform or whatever?
Freeform, yeah. I think it was still called ABC Family at that time because this was a while ago. It came out in 2011.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was great. It was really good. As a matter of fact, a lot of the girls that were in the cast on that, they're now really good friends together and play a D&D game and have a D&D podcast. I don't know if it's still active, but they used to have like an actual D&D podcast and they played together.
I love that.
From The Lying Game. Yeah. Yeah, Pretty Little Liars came out in... I was trying to find the show. I think they were on pretty simultaneously, but The Lying Game only got 2 seasons, and it deserved better. But anyway, we're not talking about that. Anyway, Sarah Shepard was thriving in this time period, basically. So this book basically, to me, is very YA, but there's a lot of trauma, a lot of high stakes that very much bleeds over into the adult world because these are big people problems, right? That teens usually don't deal with and shouldn't be dealing with. But to me, it's not just about finding out who A is, but I do think that that's what keeps people reading the book. That's what makes you continue. Is because you want to know who A is. And every time you think you know, you're wrong. This book really is more about the way that secrets basically can control you. The book shows how shame and fear can isolate people. It shows how manipulation works when you're too scared to speak up, which is why most parents weren't brought into anything. And as I've mentioned like several times, it's drama-filled in the best way. You do have teen crushes, strained relationships, strained family tension, and this whole undercurrent of danger the whole time. So I would say, even if you're not planning to read the entire Pretty Little Liars series, Flawless kind of still works as a tense, twisty teen thriller that you could, in theory, read alone or as a standalone if you wanted to. But of course, if you want to keep going, Sarah Shepard definitely makes sure that you're going to want to reach for book 3 because while it closes out some things, everything else continues.
So there's like a common thread for all the books, basically?
Every single one of them. They may have one story that they're dealing with that kind of sort of gets buttoned up in that book. But overall, nothing is buttoned up because you think you knew the answer. And maybe one thing is solved, but everything else is not. And at some point you're like, I really hate A because this is a horrible thing to do to people. And then you're like, but damn, they're really good. It's a lot. Because you said, did you ever try any of it or you just never got into it at all?
No, I just never got into it.
Okay. But yes,
by the time the TV show was like super popular, I was in my early 20s and aging out of that like teen drama phase.
Oh, I was a full-on adult. It was 2010. Thanks.
Well, and I was working 2 jobs and in college I didn't really watch a lot of TV if it wasn't Doctor Who.
I was at home with a toddler, so TV time was kind of my jam.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah. He would go to bed and, because I did work, but he would go to bed and I'd be like, hey, man, it's my TV time. And there was Pretty Little Liars. And at one point, it's kind of, so ABC Family, which I think is now Freeform. Yes? Or was it Freeform then? Anyway, whatever it is now.
I think it's Freeform now.
Freeform now. So there's a few channels that I used to pick. Basically, if they put out a no show, I would give it a chance. ABC/Freeform was one of them. Sci-Fi was another.
Mine was the CW.
Oh, yeah, that one too. I basically grew up on the CW because that's where Buffy and Charmed and everything started.
Yeah.
So yeah, if it came on those 3 channels, I probably was watching it, even if I didn't continue it. But yeah, it came out in 2010, and there is a lot of lap over. So if you're like, oh, I watched the movie or I watched the show and I really, really liked it, I'm not necessarily saying that you will love the books, but as someone who read the books and then got into the show, there are some storylines that are just not the same, and you might like it better. I don't know.
Well, what did you rate the book?
Let's see. What did I rate it? So on my original read through, it looks like I gave it 4 stars. This time, I think I would give it more of a 3.5. Only because while it was very enjoyable, I had every intention of rereading this series. I'm now even older than the first time I read it. So some things were just a little childish. Which would make sense because, I mean, they're young. They're really young. They're younger than my child. So it would make sense.
Anything else? Yeah.
No? All right. So which one do you want to give us first?
I'll do The Humans by Matt Haig first. To start, I rated this book 3.5 stars. It probably would have been 4 stars, but it was very, very, very British. Which I say that. I like things that are British, but this was just like, I guess too much, maybe?
Knowing you know me very well, would I like it?
Do you like The Host by Stephanie Meyer?
I loved The Host by Stephanie Meyer.
Okay, then you will like The Humans by Matt Haig.
Yes, I was mad that Stephanie didn't give us more.
Same. I freaking love The Host. And that's kind of what drew me into The Humans. It has kind of the same concept. It's a sci-fi novel that tells the story of an extraterrestrial visitor who takes on the form of a Cambridge mathematician. His name is Andrew Martin. And the human Andrew Martin, he's like super duper smart, like think Sheldon Cooper level mathematics smart. And he has discovered the Riemann theory. I think that's how you pronounce it. And it like solves a lot of the mysteries of the universe.
Okay.
And this alien race has gotten wind of this one particular human who has solved this. And they're like, we don't think humans should have access to this information yet. They are not prepared for all of this information yet. So they send one particular alien. We never learn the alien's name beyond he wakes up in Andrew Martin's body.
Interesting.
And his goal is to basically erase the Riemann theory, make it where Andrew never discovered it. And he's trying to track down anyone that Andrew may have interacted with and told about this and basically take them out too.
So does Andrew know this thing is in his body and in control?
Andrew is gone.
Okay. So they like put him in like a imaginary, like he's just in a place. He's somewhere else.
Like they basically murdered him. He cannot come back.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to say, I will say some parts of this I did skip over because it got very, very, very scientific. And he went on long rants about math and science and blah, 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 blah.
I like science. I don't do math.
So there were some parts I was just skimming. I'm like, okay, we're still talking about math. Okay, we're still talking about science. Yeah. So I want to say that they had some kind of technology where they could like build a new human body. but I could be mistaken on that. So don't take my word for that on that.
Gotcha.
But in the course of, we're just call him Andrew, in the course of Andrew learning about humans and their ways and their emotions, because this alien race does not have emotions. They also don't have families. They don't really have friends. They are very hyper independent, individualistic society type things.
Horrible and amazing.
But it's him basically learning how to be a human and observing their behaviors and how they react to things and their interactions. And he grows to love the humans. And he is second guessing his mission of destroying Andrew and his family and friends and everything. There is quite a bit of humor in this. I found myself giggling a few times. But yeah, it just explores humans and how they interact, both good and bad. There is commentary on the bad things as well. But it is all told from an alien perspective, and you do get to interact with other aliens too. So yeah, 3.5 stars, almost a 4. The ending is very abrupt. That was another little bit of a star off. I wanted the ending to be like fully complete, but it alludes to completion, so I guess I should be satiated.
I guess it's supposed to leave it for you to for the reader to decide, essentially. Is that kind of what you were getting?
Basically.
Basically, okay.
Because like a lot of stuff they pulled. They pulled a Sarah J. Maas, and a lot happened in the last like 50 pages of the book.
Yeah, she's good at that.
And I'm thinking, oh, I still have a few chapters left to like resolve everything, and then it just kind of abruptly ends. So it's not set up for a sequel or anything. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but I do recommend it. It was very thought-provoking, funny. It was good. If you like alien stories, you'll probably like this one.
It definitely sounds like something I'd be into.
This is the author that also wrote in the Midnight Library, for anyone who has read the Midnight Library. I thoroughly enjoyed that one, so that's why I was like, ooh, let me pick this one up. Because it fits my orange theme. And now, to my other orange cover book.
But okay. I love you enough, I'm letting you have this, but no.
Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. It's about a mother and daughter, Morgan and Clara, and basically them working through their life. It's told in 2 different perspectives, both Morgan and Clara's perspective. Clara is a typical 16-year-old girl who is just dealing with teenage emotions, and she thinks that her mother, Morgan, does not understand her, which Morgan doesn't. Morgan got pregnant with Clara when she was 18, so she was a teenage mom, fresh out of high school. She basically put her life on hold in order to raise Clara. I don't think there's any resentment from that, but maybe just a bit of regret, hence regretting you. And in the first couple of chapters, we're painted a picture of Morgan as part of a very typical American family. She married her high school sweetheart who got her pregnant. She stayed home to raise the kids while he went to work. And she just she was happy being a housewife. She was happy with her life, and she thought he was happy too. And this isn't a spoiler, because in the first couple of chapters, we learn through a very horrific accident that he dies with her sister in the car, and they were going off to have an affair.
Well, I mean, even if you haven't read it and you watched the preview, it basically tells you that. Like, it insinuates. Like, they don't flat out say, well, I know there's one part in the preview, she's like, well, you have to tell her. And he's like, no, I don't. And I was like, I'm pretty sure she already figured it out, but all right. Okay.
Well, and Morgan just does her best to protect Clara's image of her father after the fallout of everything. Even though Morgan is very bitter about the whole situation because it's her sister and her husband were having an affair behind her back. He was a very good father to Clara, and Clara adored her father, and she doesn't want to ruin that for Clara. which I can respect that decision.
Yeah, I absolutely can too. I think it's, as someone who comes from a divorced household, I think it's really important that they don't like badmouth each other, dead or alive. Yeah, like, it's just not good.
And I completely agree with that. But Morgan and Claire are completely different. They have very different personalities. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I think the first time I read it, I gave 5 stars. This time I gave it 4 because Claire got on my nerves a little bit. I'm also reading it how many years later? When was this published? First.
I think it's good that what we chose, it's actually kind of books that we both have read before. And so now we're giving it based on the time, like a different time in our life. We're like rating it different. I find that fascinating.
Yeah, this was first published in 2019. So it's 6 years old.
Yeah.
But yeah. Older Bianca found the teenager to be very annoying. She would just make some decisions, and I'm like, girl, no.
I mean, we all made dumb decisions when we were teenagers, though.
Well, and some of it you can just tell is made from grief of losing her father and grief of losing her aunt, because she and her Aunt Jenny were also super close. They were basically best friends. Yeah,
and so her Aunt Jenny understood her mom doesn't, yada, 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 all those things.
Yeah. But it was very poignant. There are a couple of funny parts because Colleen Hoover is funny herself. So she put that in her books. This book, I don't think will make anyone cry, but it will make you think about your relationships and how you approach people. Mm-hmm. So go read it and then go watch the movie.
And tell me if this cover is orange.
Whatever.
Well, since you have been reading things, you read 4 books last month, I think. Yeah, it's 4.
Yes, it was kind of a slow month, but one of them was super long.
That's okay.
Let me pull up my list.
You did 4. I did 6. With that, though, tell me about the things that you read, which two you just covered, and then did you acquiesce anything?
Everyone should send me a gift card to some bookstore because I have not acquiesced anything since we last recorded.
And that was a stack, which I commented on how that was a very Miranda stack for Bianca.
I was like, I haven't bought anything because I was looking at my shelves. I was like, I have legit not bought anything. Now I have pre-ordered things.
They don't count. We've had this discussion.
Not arrived.
They have not arrived. Does not count.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times on my pre-orders, my money doesn't even leave my account until it's shipped, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, same. So as a follow-up to last podcast, I was reading Heartless. I did finish Heartless. It was okay. I didn't like how it ended. Like, I knew it was coming, but I figured it would come in a different way. Mm-hmm. And, like, it basically just has her descending into madness, which, I mean, she's the Queen of Hearts, but
yes.
I was just like, maybe she's just going to be misunderstood, because that's kind of how the story was going, and that's not where it went. She just fully went mad.
Well, I mean, okay.
And then I read Regretting You and the Humans. Oh, I read First Time Caller.
Okay.
It was adorable. If you love the movie Sleepless in Seattle as much as I do, I need everyone to go read First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. Oh my gosh, it was so good. There are 2 Bianca No-No scenes. One of them came out of nowhere. And our friend Kelly read this book before me, and she did not warn me about the first scene.
There's a book 2 and a book 3.
Well,
Book 2 comes out in 2026. Book 3 is coming out in 2027. Book 3 is untitled. Book 2 has a title. And
to my knowledge, they're not sequels. They're just part of the same universe.
Ooh. So kind of like Self-Op is.
I think she's pulling. Yeah. But yes, it was super cute. I gave it 4 stars. I think I gave it 4.5 on Fable. And I took that half star away because of Bianca No-Nos. The one just coming out of nowhere.
To give a half.
it gives me so much joy. And then this last week, I read A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting.
Which I know you're a T. Kingfisher fan, but I was actually really surprised that you were a T. Kingfisher fan when I found out.
I think this is only my second book I've read by her.
Oh, I thought you'd read others.
I've read the Crow one. What was the Crow one? That was one of her horror ones.
Yeah.
I just remember it had a crow on the front cover. Where are you? Where's her website? Why is nothing working?
Mine is not working either. Mine took me to something completely different.
What in the world? This is going to bug me now. Show me all the books. There we go. Maybe Google has alternate books, but you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I just can't think of the name right now.
I can't either. A House with Good Bones. There we go. That was one of her thriller horror ones.
Which actually she wrote like a kid series that Caden used to be obsessed with that was really funny called Hamster Princess.
What?
Yes. It was a comic. It was like a... So T. Kingfisher is a pen name, right?
Yes, her real name is Ursula.
Yeah, her name's Ursula Vernon, and under the name Ursula Vernon, you can find a series called Hamster Princess. They are really short, really cute. She also wrote another one called Dragon Breath, and he loved that one as well. Dragon Breath came out before that, so he blew through Dragon's Breath, and he blew through like a bunch of other series not written by her, and he really wanted more. And the lady at the Enterprise library one day, they had ordered like 1 through 5 of this series at the time or something like that, and they held them for Caden and asked him if he wanted to read them first.
Aww.
And he was like, heck yeah. And they were hysterical. There are a lot of these like this that he used to read that they're like 250 pages long, but they're like graphic novel. And I used to read them too because while they're for kids, a lot of them are really freaking funny. And sometimes they teach like really cute lessons. But yes, she actually wrote a series that Caden used to just love so much.
Well, this one was definitely fantasy. I would say it edges into the horror realm.
Mm-hmm.
There was a little bit of gore in it. So if you got a weak stomach, maybe skip this one because there is quite a bit.
I think several of her other books have had gore as well.
Yes. I'm trying to think of how best to sum this one up. Basically, this girl named Cordelia her mom is a sorceress, and she can control Cordelia. Like basically force her to do things against her will. And she's trying to, her mother, Evangeline, is trying to like marry up and get rich, but she can't do it using her magic for various reasons that are explained in the book. Mm-hmm. But one of the big things that bugged me about this book that I took off like a 1.5 stars for, I think I gave it 3.5 stars. Not all of your questions get answered. Like, and there's a lot of, yes.
I thought so.
And there's a lot of internal monologues with the characters. It's told from 2 different points of view. Cordelia, the daughter, and this woman named Henny. They call her Henny throughout the book. I forget what her real name is. But it's told from their different points of view. Hester. And I would love to see an adaptation of this because it was a cool story, but there was so much internal monologue and thinking going on that I don't think there's a way that they could do that on screen. And that's what bugged me.
No, because sometimes when you have internal monologue in a book or like internal thinking in a book, and my biggest argument for this always goes back to the second Twilight book, where they're like, oh my God, she was being so whiny. Edward laughed. And what you don't get on the movie is all the internal monologue that she's having torment with that. So yeah, sometimes it's really hard to present that internal on screen like that.
Because there would just be times where you have like 3 pages of internal monologue while the character is just sitting in a chair. And you're like, well, this is just a lot of thinking going on, a lot of anxiety here.
I looked it up and it says the novel was inspired by the Brothers Grimm fairy tale The Goose Girl, and it took inspiration from both Regency romance novels and Gothic horror.
Yes, I can see that.
That sounds great when you put it that way.
Oh, and if you are a horse girl, be forewarned that something bad happens to a horse in this movie.
Well, no, So what you're telling me is for all of us that were traumatized with a never-ending story.
Oh, this is not the book for you.
Are about to be traumatized. Listen, no, we've been through so much trauma. We just probably going to be like, yeah, that happened again. It's all right. I'm not necessarily a horse girly, but I'm from the generation that it doesn't take, all you have to say is never ending story. And we're like, still not over it.
And then today I just started, what's the title? I'm going to make sure I get the title right. Unravel Me. It's the second book in the series by Tahereh Mafi. It's her. It's an older series. It's an older YA series, but it's a post-apocalyptic. Everything's broken down.
Series up when it came. Tahereh Mafi.
Yes.
Yeah. I ate this series up when it came out. Loved it so much. I think I did them in audio, and this was I was fairly fresh into the audio world at this point when I did these in audio. But at one point, I had read all that was out. There were no more, and she's come out with several more to the series since then. So I don't know about the rest of the series. I may hate it.
Yes, and for every, she does write whole books, but for each whole book, there is a novella that goes with it.
There is, yes.
So there's book 1 and then book 1.5, book 2 and book 2.5, and so on and so forth.
So basically, the last one I fully read was book 3 that was published in 2014, because book 4 didn't come out until 2018. So I guess at that point, I was like, you took too long.
Yeah.
And I am behind. But I've read the first 4 to include so I've read 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, and 4.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I was like, this be taking too long.
And for everyone wondering, Bianca, I thought you were reading the Cassandra Clare books. I am. I'm taking a break.
Yeah, you can't. Listen, if you go barreling through, you just gonna hurt yourself.
I will attempt to pick it up maybe next month again, but I have other books that I want to read. I need to get out of that universe for a little bit.
But I'm kind of a little bit surprised that you decided to move forward with the Shatter Me series, because I didn't feel that you really I want to say I thought you rated the first one just kind of lower.
I gave it 3.
Yeah.
But I do want to see how it progresses, because if I remember correctly, that was her first book that she had ever written and published.
No, I believe it was. I believe Shatter Me was her very first book ever. And you said you felt that.
It has a good story, so I'm hoping that her writing and story style improves. So we'll see. Maybe book 2 will get me in.
So long since I read them. I don't know. Did you read 1.5, Destroy Me?
Yes.
Yes. And what'd you rate it?
Well, it's told from the point of view of a character that I absolutely hate, so I rated it low. I was like, why did she write this?
I think she came back and wrote it later.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember. No, according to the publishing, no, she wrote. So maybe not. Maybe I was wrong on that. But interesting.
Yeah,
and how are you feeling so far about book 2?
I'm only on chapter 3, so I don't really have feelings right now.
But you were going to say it's told what? I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't know.
1.5, you're like, it's told.
It's just told from basically the villain's point of view, and I have zero interest in that man whatsoever.
Ain't that bad.
Pretty much anyone else's POV I would have taken, not him. I want to punt that man across the world.
She says, let's yeet him right on up out of here.
What have you been reading, Miranda?
I have been in a very different direction from you. And I have made myself, have you ever gotten to one of those series where you're like, that's it, this is my personality, and this is who I am now?
I know what you're talking about.
Yes, I know you know what series I'm talking about, but you know what I'm talking about, like,
yes,
with that, because I'm sure it's happened to the best of all of us, right?
That was me with Hunger Games.
Listen, I get it. So it has happened to me. I am obsessed. I apologize if I talk about it too much. I think I've already made like 4 TikToks about it, and I am not done. I will never be done talking about the infinite, fantastic world of Dungeon Crawler Carl. This series...
Remind me who the author is.
Matt Dinniman.
Okay, you can keep going.
This series, I don't even know where to start. So basically the world ends, right? And Carl, our main character, and his cat, also our main character, and you're probably thinking, how is a cat a main character? Give me a second. I'll get there.
To reference you last podcast, meow.
Meow. Yes. What a coincidence. Here I am again. Here I am again. Okay, so the world has ended. And poor Carl and his cat are still alive. This doesn't spoil anything. So just imagine with me, if you will. This series is basically like Hunger Games meets Dungeons and Dragons meets, if you guys ever read it, My Life as a White Trash Zombie. And then like a bunch of pieces of like a video game. So here's Carl. Everything explodes. World's end. It's gone. He's stuck in his boxers with his cat, who's named Princess Donut. And they realize if you were inside a dwelling, so if you were inside a car, a building, anything like that, you're dead. You're gone. You're off this earth. And this like voice comes over this loudspeaker and starts yelling at Carl and anyone else who's alive. He doesn't know at this point. Like, you have to get into the dungeon, follow the light, go to the dungeon, like, get in there. So him and Princess Donut, who very quickly starts speaking. And she is just, oh my God, I would die for this cat. She is absolutely the best thing in the world. And their banter, I know people usually consider banter in like romance books and stuff, and that's where they're like, oh, it's so fantastic. No, this is a cat and its owner. And it's perfect. Like, perfect. Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Did you just say perfect?
Perfect, yes, I did. I didn't even mean to, and it came out, and I was like, that was great. So what they realize, though, is this dungeon that they're fighting their way through, like they're playing a video game. Like, they have stats. They have... Sometimes it sounds like making a character for D&D, and other times it sounds like you're playing a video game. Because they're like, achievement unlocked! And, like, you get all these really dumb achievements, and sometimes they're really cool achievements. But this whole thing is being live streamed for alien entertainment.
Okay.
Yes. And so at one point, Princess Donut and Carl get like, they quickly become fan favorites, and they get tossed on these like, so they get to actually watch the show, the Dungeon Recap show. Like at the end of their day, they get to see themselves on screen. And then there's shows that come on after, you know how like they'll have like the shows that come on after like Real Housewives?
Yeah.
And they'll have like a talk show. They have one of those. And sometimes Princess Donut and Carl get invited on there. This is, I know everybody's like, Miranda, you sound crazy. I know I sound crazy. But this thing, it has so much action. I will say it is gory. there are some things that happen that there are some of you that are not going to enjoy this. Like my mom saw one of the TikToks I made for our channel and she's like, oh, I have to read it now. And I had to text her and be like, I love you and I want everyone to read this book series. This is not for you.
At least you're honest.
Yeah, well, no, I don't hurt. Because you know what's going to happen? The same thing that happened when she went and watched Hill House after I told her not to. Why didn't you tell me? You should have told me. Oh, my God. I did tell you. I said it's not for you. And you wouldn't just leave it at that. Raising parents is hard, okay? That's all I'm going to say. They don't listen. So it is very dark and gory. There are no, like, Bianca no scenes or anything like that, but there is, like, some raunchy comments. Like, there's adult content, but not in, like, the sense of there's a scene of it or anything.
Yeah.
Like that. I will say what's really funny is because Carl was outside. So mind you, I didn't tell you that part, which doesn't spoil anything. So like everybody died, right? Because they were like inside their homes and stuff. The reason Princess Donut and Carl are in this mess is because for the first time ever, Princess Donut, who is actually his ex-girlfriend's cat, who is a like award-winning show cat. So she's supposed to be this luscious, beautiful thing, decided to go outside for the first time ever. And Carl had to go after her in his boxer shorts, a leather jacket, and Crocs that are too small for him because they were his ex-girlfriend's and he just needed to put something on to go outside and get this stupid cat inside. So that's what he enters the dungeon in.
Oh, lovely.
Poor guy. Poor guy. They are so funny. If you were into audiobook, I highly, highly recommend the audiobook because the guy that does it, his name is Jeff Hayes. And I know people tell you not to look them up, but these books got big on Book Talk is what happens. And I know there's a big discussion.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, there's a big discussion of like, we should stop, hyping up all these books we see on Book Talk. No, because if I had to decide to like give in to this, I would not be in this wonderful world that I am. But I will say, as a narrator, Jeff Hayes may have ruined audiobooks for me, like in a good way, because he is phenomenal. There's actually a video that Audible put out of a little interview of him and Matt Dinniman together, and Matt just looks at him and he's like, "Do Carl's voice, do Prepotente, do Princess Donut," and he could just like pop them off, and they're all very distinctive. I know you're not big into audiobooks, but you know what I mean when like there's some people that like the voices, it's not that different. Like It's like, no, this man has a tremendous range. I don't know why it's taken this long for me to hear about him because he is phenomenal in his craft. The amount of voices that he can just pop off like that. I don't know. And he does them one right after another sometimes. Because in the books, sometimes Carl says something to Princess Donut over, like they can kind of talk to each other through like this communicator thing they have. Because they're there as a team. They're fighting all of this stuff as a team now, right? And she likes to write in all caps. Even though Carl has told her several times, don't write in all caps. That means you're yelling.
So the cat is like sentient?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
She's full on shooting blaster missiles, and she has a tiara and magic sunglasses, and she is a sassy. You would love Princess Donut. She is a sassy little piece of work. I love her so much. Like I said, I would absolutely die for this cat. But Jeff does this thing when he's reading it where Carl and her are having communication. And it actually comes across so you know it. So she's yelling at Carl. And she's like, Carl! Like yelling at him. And then Jeff goes straight from her voice yelling at him into Carl. And it's like, how do you do that? Which I know there's editing. But I'm just saying, like, it's phenomenal. I just finished book 4 today on our drive home. There are technically 7 books out with the 8th one supposed to come out next year. And I haven't confirmed this, but my understanding is if you are one of his Patreons, he is actually dropping the chapters for people on Patreon in advance. So like you can get a chapter at a time.
Oh, nice.
However, obviously you're just reading it. So if you're really enjoying like Jeff Hayes' work, you got to wait till next year.
Yeah.
They did also announce that this will be turned into a webtoon, which absolutely will work. And it is going to have its own RPG game.
Oh.
Because it is part of a subgenre that I didn't know until very recently existed called Lit RPG.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
So basically it's there's a whole ton of them and I didn't know, and now it's opened up my world because now I'm like books like Dungeon Color Curl. Like I'm in it deep now. But yeah, it's basically because you have also played D&D and you played WoW. So imagine those in like full on book form. It's a full story of kind of like somebody's D&D campaign.
I think I would enjoy that.
I think you would. There are some gory parts I don't know if you'd love. And some of the like sexual innuendo comments are like, whoo, okay. But they like nothing actually takes place.
Yeah.
So I think you'd be okay with that part. I told my mother no because I'll just go ahead and put this out there. This is not like a full spoiler or anything. But at one point, again, if you're listening to Jeff, he does a totally different voice for the achievement unlocked. And he's like, achievement unlocked. You just killed a baby.
Whoa. Okay.
But it's not exactly what you think. Like you have to read the story, but I know my mother would be like, so.
I want to record you crying like that.
Right? Listen, my mom listens to us. I'm not saying anything I wouldn't say to her face. Thanks, Mom. But I could literally sit here and like just keep talking about these books. I think everyone should try book 1. It's basically sadistic game show where you're basically crawling your way through a dungeon. So it's supposed to be 18 levels, by the way. So not every book is every level. Sometimes you get to sometimes a book will cover more than one level. But I'm really sad because I wonder, obviously I'm only at book 4 and this is like 18 levels. So I'm like, is it just going to end when he gets to 18? Like what's going to happen?
Yes, you'll have to keep reading to find out.
I am going to have to keep reading to find out. But if you want to look at the reviews, I gave book 1 5 stars. It has a 4.5 rating on Goodreads. I highly, highly recommend, if you couldn't tell. I have other friends that have read it. They've also rated it between 4 and 5 stars. So, and my one friend that read it that also gave it 5 stars. If for anyone interested, I won't put it right now because I can't confirm. But she has given me a list of other series where if she said, if you are really enjoying this, you're also going to like this one.
Nice.
I have legitimately, because you were saying you laughed a few times in one of your books, I legitimately have laughed so hard and like audibly out loud, not just like a giggle in my head. Like I was snort laughing at the red light the other day. Oh, and you'll love this. In one of the books, Princess Donut gives the perfect use of bless your heart.
Aww.
She's fantastic. She's one of us.
She's a Southern belle.
She's one of us. Don't be turned off by the covers. They have redone the covers since like they've gotten popular and like mass produced, but the original colors I think make it even better because they are outlandish.
That's because when you said you were reading that, I looked it up and I know I've seen those books in stores.
Yeah, but it's not the same cover. I'm sure you've seen the one that like the black cover with the big
with the neon colors.
Yeah. If you go look up the original covers, which is what I got on Audible and Kindle, so I got them both on my Kindle and on Audible. I got the original, and they're funny. They are funny.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, so originally these came out in 2020. I don't know who, I would love to know who on Book Talk or how this like blew up. I really don't know. But I'm not alone in everyone making it their personality. So
yeah, it's gotten pretty popular.
So I highly recommend. This is the one time that I will say, I know a lot of people say, don't read the popular Book Talk books. No, read this popular Book Talk book series. He does have other series I haven't given a go yet. That seem pretty similar. I don't know if they're as funny. One of them, the cover has me in. So it's called it's like book 2 of another series of his. It's called the Hobgoblin Riot. And it says, "This ain't your daddy's tower defense." And it gives a definition of the word clusterfuck, which you know is my favorite word in the world.
Oh, goodness.
So I'm pretty sure Matt Dinniman is probably a one-click buy author now.
Well, I'm glad you found one.
Thank you.
It is. It's always a pleasant surprise.
It is. Because this one was like, I don't know. It was one of those, like, I just kept seeing people talk about it. And then a person I knew personally was like, "Oh my gosh, you have to read this." And I was like, okay, well, I'm kind of in a slump, like nothing's hitting.
Yeah.
I'll use a credit. I'll do it. And like 10 minutes in, I was like, "Oh, I'm here. I am set." And the problem is I know what's about to happen. I literally have not read anything in between these. I'm about to crash.
Have you acquiesced anything?
Just these.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to behave because someone's best friend called her out for purchasing books.
Yes, I did. You're about to move across the ocean.
It's my moving bill. No, seriously, I only did these because one, I just have been way too busy to go into a bookstore, and number two, I am trying to be very strategic with my thought processes because moving that far is not for the faint of heart or pocketbook. So I'm trying to behave.
Well, if you want even more of us, be sure to follow us on pretty much every social media platform. Mm-hmm. We are on Instagram and on TikTok at Bells with Books Podcast. Mm-hmm. You can follow me personally on both platforms. I'm at Stylin' Freak. You can type in at Mom's a Nerd anywhere and Miranda will pop up. And Miranda is also working to put all of our backlog up on YouTube. How many episodes have you done now, Miranda?
I think we're still just at 6 because I had a storage issue.
Oh, okay.
But yes, we should have so it'd be 7 through 12 should be there.
Okay. So. And then what else is going on in the Place to Be Nation world?
I do know that we're still working on, this is active, so you can go to also on YouTube. One of our fantastic friends here at Place to Be has been converting everything from our catalog back and current. Bells, obviously we're our own channel, but Place to Be has, Place to Be Nation Pop has its a channel now, and everything that we have had on our network for quite some time, old and new, are being converted into YouTube videos as well. So even my very first show that I ever did that even brought me to Place to Be, to even made me part owner of the feed, is also on there, as well as the channels or the shows that made this channel what it is. So you can go find any of my old shows, that my other current shows. It basically, if it's ever been on this channel, it is over there now. We have 696 different videos you can make your way through, and there's something for everybody. And just big shout out to Callum for making that happen, because it's a lot of work. I'm struggling with my first 12, and Callum's got 696 going already. So that's Place to Be Pop Experience on YouTube if you would like to go get our back catalog of everything we have to offer. And he's still working on it, so there's more to come. So there's that. Check out the website as well, placetobenation.com. There are articles, links to every show, including this one. And of course, you can join the Facebook group if you would like. It's just Place to Be. Come over, have discussion. There is a lot of wrestling discussion. I like to warn people in advance so they're not like, what is this wrestling group? It's not, but people will talk about other things. But we do have a lot of shows that are heavy in sports and wrestling that are part of our feed, so don't get turned away by that. But for Bianca and myself, we are glad you joined us for our burst of orange-ish books this month. Next month, we will come to you. We're going to the world of mythology and middle grade. Yeah, next month we're going to join you with mythology, middle grade mythology, and sometime later we'll be back with another color, another stack, and probably more opinions than anyone ever asked for. And I guarantee you I'm going to talk about Dungeon Crawler Colorado again. So if you want that, join us next time. We're glad you were here. And you know what? Until then, keep reading.